Age. Well, the Christmas shopping season is well underway, but what kind of a shopping season will it be for the economy? There are mixed signals. A report in the Washington Post says that consumer confidence is higher than last year and the unemployment rate is lower, but there is caution. Worries about higher taxes and a higher cost of health insurance could make shoppers a little more conservative this year in their spending. Well, joining us this morning on the Sunday Business Page to talk about Christmas shopping and sales is Dr. Dorene Ciletti, Assistant Professor of Marketing at Duquesne University's Palumbo Donahue School of Business. Dorene, welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks, John.
So we've kicked off the holiday season, I guess, with last Friday, Black Friday, and then is it Small Business Saturday yesterday?
Right.
Do we know yet what kind of a start we have?
Well, the estimates are that this shopping weekend, the Black Friday weekend, should bring in somewhere around $13 billion in holiday shopping.
$13 billion. What are we spending that kind of money on?
Well, a variety of things. Gifts for friends and family seem to be those that people are spending most of their money on. People are buying for themselves, too, while they're out shopping, and they're also spending money on decorations and, you know, those sorts of things, experiences for the holidays, travel, food, entertainment.
Right. Now, I know that I was reading some report here saying that, yes, people are feeling a little better about the economy, the stock market's up, and people generally feeling good. And then another report said, well, that's only really the wealthy types, that those with lower incomes are not feeling all that secure these days. What is your sense in terms of who's going out there spending money?
Well, you know, most predictions are saying that we should see an increase of somewhere between 3.5% and 4% over last year's holiday shopping. Most of the increase, or at least most of the spend, seems to be predicted among those making more than $100,000. So those making under $100,000 are expected to spend somewhere between $700 and $1,000 on gifts, while those over $100,000 are expected to spend about double that.
Really? So for the average person out there, the under $100,000 folks, we're talking about 700, did you say? Six, seven,
700, up to about $1,000 on holiday shopping in general.
In general, and that includes the decorations and the food and all the other things. Are there some hot trends that people are spending money on?
Well, one is experiences. People are really thinking about experiences instead of just a gift to unwrap. So, for instance, you know, in Pittsburgh, the Nutcracker is available on the 26th and the 27th of December. So the idea is, you know, you have the ticket, but then you go to that experience. Or we have other entertainment, like I think The Wizard of Oz is coming in January. You know, so that's, people are thinking about what they can do together. Hotels, restaurants, the arts.
Yes.
One big trend for those among us who have children is unboxing. So the idea of getting a gift, that part of the gift is experiential in that it's taking it apart, the LOL craze. And some of the other toys, that part of the joy of the toy is taking it apart. And in fact, kids are filming themselves as they unwrap these and find the surprises and the gifts inside.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, I like the idea of experiences because, you know, you get to a certain age and you've got most everything, or at least you think you do, but you don't have the opportunity to experience different things. So the idea of buying tickets to a play or a show, or I know my wife and I buy each other the same kind of things, which is often the tickets to go to the theaters, you know, the coupons that you put money down and you can use it, or something like a Starbucks coupon or something. I take it those things are pretty popular.
Gift cards are still really popular, especially millennials and Gen Z. It seems like that's among their wish list, is to get these gift cards because then they could use them as they want. And they don't have to go into a store. They also have the option of using them online. Right.
Now, I read again in preparation for this that people are kind of yearning for the old-fashioned Christmas. They want some more Christmas caroling. I think that was on the list I saw. Christmas caroling and trains around the tree. Some of the things that we remember from long ago. Is that true? I mean, are people yearning for some of the old-fashioned Christmas stuff and spending money on it?
Well, they are. That idea of nostalgia is big. And again, it ties into experiences. People want to experience the holiday. And so part of that is going back to some of the traditions that they may have experienced in the past with their families.
Right. Yeah, and it all makes perfect sense. Now, I've done some stories, and this is a big issue, with some local retail companies, big box companies, that are doing everything they can to get people to literally come into their store Why? Because a lot of folks are shopping online.
Right.
What can you tell us about what this Christmas season is going to be for online versus the actual experience of going into a store?
Well, they're really complementary. What some shoppers do is spend some time doing their research online, looking for items of interest. But many of them still want to go into a store, touch it, feel it, again, experience that item. You know, Amazon is actually working on, well, they have some pop-ups within Whole Foods, as you know, that, you know, they have
Sure.
the partnership together now. And they're also experimenting in Kohl's with 10 Kohl's stores around the country have Amazon shops within there. And you can buy what you want online at Amazon, but Amazon's thought is, you know, give people that chance to look at the Kindle and the Fire and, you know, talk to their employees.
Yeah, well, call me old-fashioned, but I really want to feel the stuff. Certainly if I'm going to buy it for somebody else, I want to really see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Dorene, thank you so much for coming in. It was great to have you on. Merry Christmas to you. Happy shopping to everybody. And thank you again for sharing it with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the Sunday Business Page in just a few moments. Stick with us.